You join us today on what may seem like an odd comparison on the face of it because like the name suggests, this is the Royal Enfield Hunter 350 versus the Yamaha XSR 155, half the capacity. But in reality, these motorcycles are more closely matched than you might expect. And after riding them both together, we figured that someone considering one should really consider the other. And that's because they both have a similar sort of price point. The Hunter starts at about 1.37 and goes up to 1.66. This is 1.5. They both make around 20 horsepower. The Hunter has more power, but this bike is faster. And they both have this lovely retro roadster style. So if you're in the market for a bike that looks like this at this price point, you might want to know which one is better. And that's what we're here to tell you today. Now, I think we should start with the area that has caused the most confusion as to why we're doing this. Engines.
Yeah.
So, what's your take? These are two very popular engines. We know them well.
Very popular engines. What I feel is, after spending a few days with both the motorcycles, I think that both of them have a very nice mid-range performance. But when you talk about the low end, this one is better. And when you talk about the top end, that one is much better.
I mean, it's a world of difference. The biggest difference in these two bikes is in their engines. And they both have really charming, really likable engines, but at opposite ends of the scale. And to give you an idea of what I mean by opposite ends of the scale, like Azaman said, that's low end, this is high end. That engine's peak power comes in at 6,100 RPM. This engine's variable valve actuation system doesn't start until 7,000 RPM. So the fun out here is 6,800 onwards where it really starts to stretch itself. Whereas that is beautiful in the city, low revs, slow thumpy feel, just on the gas, off the clutch, lovely torque. But they both do their job quite well. Now, outright performance-wise, this is definitely quicker, but you got to work it.
Yeah.
Today in the cornering shots, I had to work hard to keep up with you.
Yeah, you had to work hard to keep up with me, but I also noticed something about the Hunter. It's really planted in the corners. It's really fun to ride in the corners, but when it is exiting corners, it feels like it's running out of steam.
It's done. Whereas this is then like, let's rev and let's get out there. So definitely quicker in our performance test. I think there's a 4 or 5 second
around 4
difference. In the 0 to 100 time. This is about 11 seconds.
11.66, yeah.
About 15.
Around 15 seconds.
So there's a noticeable difference there. It's also got a 6-speed gearbox, 5-speed gearbox. You will be working the gearbox more here because you want to keep it in that upper power band, whereas that has very nicely spread gear ratios and it doesn't feel like it needs a 6th gear.
So in the city, I feel like this one, you don't need to go through the gearbox as much as you need to go through that when you're in traffic. So yeah, it's a very, very comfortable and very just easy to ride and cruise along in the city.
And Royal Enfield has really fixed that motorcycle with the update that came out last year. It was my least favorite 350 when it was new in India because the suspension was just too harsh on the rear, and now it's lovely.
Now it's lovely. I mean, they fixed it perfectly. I mean, the perfect testing ground is Bandra.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
especially with what they've done with the lanes. Right
yeah.
now.
So when I took this motorcycle for the first few days over there, I was actually struggling by the end of it because it is pretty stiff.
We'll get back to that.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
But one of the other appreciable updates is the clutch.
Oh yeah, the clutch is super light. When you're in traffic, stuck in stop-go traffic, it just does the job really well.
They both have slip assist clutches. They both have a similar sort of weight to the clutch in that it's not like a Splendor, you know, with no feel whatsoever, but it's light enough, it's not tiring, and there's good feel and control on the clutch. Both have nice gearboxes, smooth shifting gearboxes. But yeah, they do things so differently and they sound different. This thing sounds great at high RPMs. It's an R15 engine, it loves to rev. That sounds beautiful at low revs, slower speeds.
Yeah.
And they feel good as well.
It has a bit of that rappy nature as well, yeah.
And you kind of feel that engine through the whole motorcycle. This one is a lot smoother, but with every blip, you sort of feel it. It's nice that they've been able to keep that thumpy nature in the new J-Series engine without vibrations.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the old classic 350 UC engine. I never understood it, why people loved it so much, but this I really get.
I get what you're saying. And today when I was coming in the morning also on the highway, sweet spot in 5th gear, 100 kmph, cruising along perfectly. And you don't even really have to stop for potholes with the nice suspension. So fuel efficiency, even though that is the quicker, even though that is the much faster motorcycle, it gives much better mileage.
It's some crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers, yeah. So we got mileage of around 50 kilometers per liter, and on this it was around
Significantly lower.
Significantly lower than that, yeah.
But that's just the fact that it's a large capacity engine. It can't do much more than 40 definitely. This, if you ride it gently, as we do in our performance tests, in our mileage tests, you'll get really good figures. If you ride it flat out, it will get 28, 29, it'll go down to that. But the fact of the matter is this can be very efficient and you can still carry a decent pace while getting good efficiency out of this engine. And that's why people love the R15, MT15 and now the XSR. So engine-wise, on paper, clear advantage here, but that has charm.
It has its own character,
yeah. Now, one of the reasons why this bike is so fuel efficient compared to that one is weight. Somehow, there is a 44 kilo difference between these two motorcycles. This is a 137 kg curb and it really feels light and friendly to move around. But at the same time, it feels like a bigger bike when you sit on it. That is 181 kilos, which in the Royal Enfield universe is very nice because it is the lightest Royal Enfield there is. But it's still a heavy motorcycle. Now, I don't notice that weight because the seat height is not something that plays out for me. But Azaman says that he definitely notices the difference. And
yeah, so I definitely noticed that the XSR just feels really light in the city. I mean, it is the slightly bigger motorcycle. This one is very compact. It is manageable, don't get me wrong. But you do feel the weight many times when you're cruising along in the city.
Okay. Part of that is seat height and that has an advantage.
Yeah, this has an advantage. So as you can see, I'm around 5'7" and I can completely flat foot on the ground.
Okay.
But on this,
let me just get off this bike. Let you show people what it looks like.
So this is around 20 mm more.
8-10 mm, yeah.
Yeah, 8-10 mm. And so yeah, I cannot completely flat foot as you can see.
Slightly on your toes.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I fit well on both motorcycles. They look small for a big rider, but tall riders will fit well on either bike and that's a good thing. But what I appreciate with the Hunter is that it is a more relaxed riding position. It's not boring. The feet are still slightly behind you, but it's not as high as that. When you get on that motorcycle, you realize, whoa, my feet are high up. It's also not so much of a lean.
So the handlebars are slightly
you
slightly
can see
more
it coming
towards you. Whereas this one is flat and wider. So yeah, it is a nice position, but yeah, this is slightly more.
It's a much more sporty feeling, much more overall engaged position, and that has an impact when you consider the suspension.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to suspension now. This is an R15 platform. It's the R15 chassis, which is that lovely perimeter frame that you can see on display. It's front suspension UST, monoshock at the rear, and the tune is very similar to R15 MT15. That's a good and bad thing. The good thing is that it's a wonderful, fun motorcycle to ride out on roads like that we've been on today. It's a more engaging handler than the Hunter. The Hunter's a good handler. It has been softened a little in this new update and you really push it hard and you can feel it squish. But I don't think any Hunter customers are going to ride this bike like that.
I agree with you, yeah. Like I even said about exiting the corners, I don't think anyone's going to ride it that way.
No one's going to be pushing it like that. But if you want to settle into a nice, quick cruise, 70, 80 kilometers an hour through bends, enjoying them, this bike is good fun to ride, more so than any other 350cc Royal Enfield, definitely.
Agreed.
That is just a level above. You can push it hard and the engine encourages you, the suspension gives you support, the braking is good, the brakes on this bike are good as well. Yeah, but again, that has less weight to slow down. So the overall dynamics on the XSR, I think, are really very nice, but you're going to feel it in the city.
Yeah, so in the city, this one is the very stiff motorcycle. So when you're going, so like I was telling you, the perfect testing ground when we are in Mumbai and in Bandra, the roads are so horrible right now that I had to stand up a couple of times when I was going over speed breakers and bad potholes. When I was anything above 35 or 40 kilometers per hour. So you really have to slow down before approaching speed breakers or you're going to feel it in your back.
I think Azaman's also considering how stiff it is based on how his experience was with this bike at first. It's not horribly harsh, but it's decidedly sporty.
No, I'm talking from a comparison point of view.
It's decidedly sporty.
When you ride both back to back, you do realize.
And Yamaha is letting you know this when you go to their website and they say it's a retro sport.
Yeah, retro.
They don't call it retro.
Yeah.
So I think that if you're into performance, you will be willing to forgive that firmness in the motorcycle, as do tens of thousands of R15 and MT15 customers. But you should be aware that you may be getting a bike that has lovely retro lines to it, but it is a fairly committed motorcycle and you're going to feel it over bumps. First day is okay, second day, third day, I start getting a sore back after spending hours on that motorcycle. Whereas this is no longer what it used to be.
No,
this was harsh like that.
This was harsh, but this is now very, very impressive.
Yeah.
In fact, like the way the suspension comes back, you don't feel any potholes in the morning. I didn't even have to slow down for one, which I almost didn't see. And if I did the same thing on this, I think I would have got a worse impact. Yeah.
Worth noting that neither of them has preload adjustable suspension, so what you get is what you get.
Yeah.
And you'll just have to look for an aftermarket shock or something there if you're trying to sort of fix that issue. Yeah, and while I'm sitting on this motorcycle, I'm reminded of this nice squishy seat. It is a more comfortable seat than that. It looks like a thicker, softer seat, and it is. And that also adds to the overall comfort factor with the Hunter. Let's talk about, I think, design, features, quality.
Design.
That looks like a bigger motorcycle than this.
It does. But like you said, when you're sitting on it, it is the lighter one out of the lot. It's a really nice feeling motorcycle in the city. It cuts through traffic really lightly. It just feels superb.
The fuel tank's shape, I think, is what's giving you that feeling of it being, because this is a rather flat fuel tank. And from the rider's point of view, it's thin and flat. That has shape to it this way. It's got shape to it this way as well. So even though it is a smaller motorcycle, this feels like the smaller motorcycle.
This feels like the smaller bike, so like the Yamaha is calling this the Sport Retro, and it does have, you know, it's neo-retro elements with the perimeter frame and everything. That is just a retro, bike itself.
And there's interesting details to take in on that motorcycle. Now, because it's a naked bike, you're going to see more plumbing, and it's a liquid-cooled bike, so there's things that cannot be hidden, especially with a completely naked bike. This is a lot more cleanly executed in the engine area, far fewer things hanging off the engine.
Exactly.
But, you know, I love looking at that swing arm, for example. It's a nice aluminium swing arm. Then there is the proper perimeter frame, there's an upside down fork, the little headlamp holding brackets. So to me, there's nicer attention to detail on the XSR and things to look at.
There is, but they've missed out on some small things, like for example, grab rails.
Yeah.
There are no grab rails.
It looks cool.
It looks
but,
cool.
Your pillion's not going to be very happy.
Not even pillion. I noticed when I was removing it out of parkings and trying to get a quick access into a parking spot.
Yamaha has told me that they're working on an accessory.
Okay, so then that's good.
It's not available yet though.
And one more thing, I feel this bike would look much better with round mirrors.
Fair enough. Yeah, like these.
Yeah.
As long as they don't come loose like Royal Enfield.
Exactly.
On this motorcycle, the engine makes up a large part of the visual aspect. It feels like a big engine and a motorcycle around it. And I guess that engine is a large contributor to the weight of this motorcycle. And when the J series platform first came out 2021, I remember talking to one of the senior designers at Royal Enfield, engine designers, and saying, why is it so big and bulky, you know? And he gave me a line that has stuck with me for a long time. And it has its up and down minus points. He said, more steel for more feel. Now make of that what you will. It's probably why this engine has that thumpy, characterful feel to it. But yeah, the downside is the weight. Quality and finish, I think again, in most areas that's good. I prefer this switchgear. Both of them have terrible high beam flash switches. With the Royal Enfield, you've got to toggle your thumb that way. With the Yamaha, you've got to do it this way. But then they've gone and done that thing that Japanese manufacturers do of switching the horn and indicator.
Horn and indicators. That's pretty irritating.
If it's your only bike, you'll learn to get used to it. You'll learn it. If it's not your only bike, it will drive you mad forever. Because you will never find the horn or the indicator when you want to look for it. Why the Japanese do this, I don't understand.
Know,
but
it's something new that we've seen in a lot of them.
In a few of them, not all of them.
Not all of them. In a few Hondas and Yamahas, we have seen them.
Right, so then let's cover the features aspect. There are a few things they both have. LED lighting, slip assist clutches, dual channel ABS. The Yamaha takes it a step further with traction control.
Yeah. Something that I honestly don't think you need in this class, but yeah.
It's nice to have.
Nice to have,
but not necessary.
Not necessary.
Then you've got Bluetooth connectivity, I think, for call control and things like that.
Yeah, call, SMS, alerts, music.
This also has Bluetooth of a sort. It's got the tripper navigation port, but that will only show you navigation direction arrows and distances. No music or call control from this. Oh yeah, that has a rev counter, which I think this bike should have had.
I think it deserved it.
The slightly more sporty vibe to the Hunter, it should have had a rev counter, but yeah, small things. And with that, I think we should get to pricing and conclusion. There is no real reason to pick one of these two based on price alone. I think the XSR is very well priced for what we've grown to expect from Yamaha. Yes, it's more expensive than air-cooled and oil-cooled 160s, but it's giving you a lot more. So 1.5 starting price introductory, we'll see how long that lasts, is a really good price for that motorcycle. It's giving you a lot and it's got a feel-good factor to it. Whereas the Hunter has one base version in one color with, you know, the spoke wheels and the simple switchgear. Just, I wouldn't bother with that. You pick from one of these and then it's about 1.6 lakh
6
rupees.
lakhs.
So price is not really a reason to make a decision here, but if we were to wear our auto journalist uniforms and note down scores and figures, that is the winner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, it is the winner. It's the more engaging bike
It's
to
faster.
ride. It's faster.
It's lighter.
Lighter.
It's more fuel efficient.
Yeah.
It's more affordable. It has more tech.
more tech. I think the only
Yeah.
place that this would be better is the suspension.
Is the suspension, but yes, but now there's a more nuanced version of this conclusion. If you're a younger person, you are newer to motorcycling and you really value performance, you will live with all the compromises that come with performance. I speak as a young kid on
Yeah.
an R15 who just ignored everything else, ignored the painful riding position. As a young kid who graduated with a 390 Duke, ignored the heat, ignored the discomfort because the
I
performance
agree
was
with
everything.
you. Yeah, I did
And
the
if
same.
you are that person, then this is your bike without doubt. But if you're a person who's maybe gone beyond that stage, or if you're someone who lives in a city like Mumbai where unfortunately the roads are largely quite terrible all over the place, then you value comfort, you value engagement. I have a 2-hour commute every day up and down, 1 hour, 1 hour. It's 2 hours of my daily 24 hours. I don't want to waste that time. To me, that time is important. If I am on an engaging motorcycle, and a motorcycle whose engine I enjoy, a motorcycle whose suspension keeps me comfortable, I appreciate that. So this is the bike I want to ride home today, but that is the winner of our comparison.
Yeah.